8:41 p.m. Another one for you. Yeah, you can see the lighting's a bit dark, but around wake-up time, just have a little kind of cloth over the light that makes it a little more relaxing for the eyes, at least. So anyway, you're gonna see the usual. It's changed somewhat, not incredibly perhaps, but somewhat from the last year. So without further ado, we begin our process first by going to the bathroom and taking care of all necessities there, which I'm not going to film for you. I'm sorry for anyone who really wanted to see that part. And then after that, usually I would get dressed and then I would do my hair. But now it's kind of changed where I comb my hair and do all that stuff first, and then I get dressed. So we'll go over to that segment next. So most of the time, I would just go ahead and I guess just do my hair. But today, because I'm filming the average day video, I took a number of minutes out to go ahead and try and clean up things and make it look presentable. And now with the change of phone, I'm trying to find a way to get the shot set up. So once I get that taken care of, then we'll resume. All right. As basic a setup as this is, you can see right there, that's what it looks like. It works. It's something that works, and got it set up using this towel as a little bit of a base, and then a coaster on top of the towel, and then on top of the coaster is the camera, which is filming in the selfie mode. So you're kind of looking into the mirror, which is looking back at you, and then back. And then I'm looking in the mirror, looking at the camera at me. And alright, anyway, what do I do now? I used to just go straight ahead and put the Brill cream in. But a useful way, and I started doing this about, 9-10 months ago, was first, because I'm going to end up changing this shirt anyway, and to avoid a mess, just dump a ton of water in my hair first. So let's begin. Cold water. Helps wake you up too. So that's useful because it, number one, helps wake you up. It's like a literal splash of water on your face. And number two, it saturates the hair, which is exactly what we need. From there, of course, you don't even need a lot anymore. A tiny bit of Brill cream, not half a tube anymore, but just a tiny bit. Put it on my fingers. And just run it through the hair, just like that. Usually to wipe my hands I'd be using these towels, but I'm not going to, obviously. So, again, as is not the norm, but we'll use this roll of paper towels instead. From there, we still have this comb, the semi-broken one, but it's what works best. That's all that I have to say. And then from there, we just comb the hair simply back. And this is why I enjoy dumping a lot of water on it. Gets rid of excess product that might have built up. which is great for the hair and for your scalp and for all that. And number two, it kind of plasters the hair down more, which is what I want. You know, I just kind of want it back to the side and out of the way. So hopefully you can see this is the side right here, which again, you just move it to the side like that. You know, the hair at the top has gotten considerably longer, but again, that just works in my benefit because it helps just keep everything, you know, formed and out of the way, so to speak. There we go. Good enough. Wipe down the counter. Make sure it's all clean. So we want clean bathrooms. Again, usually I just do this with no paper towels, but this is a special circumstance. Clean off the comb. And there we go. So next, wardrobe. Let's do this. Picking out what to wear is one of life's many great challenges. For daily attire, I will sometimes wear a suit if I want to go with one. I have a bunch lined up there. But otherwise, my more casual daily attire nowadays is as follows. You can see I got the shirts here. These are the wing collar ones. These are long sleeve. These are short sleeve. We'll go with a short sleeve shirt today. I got about a lot of them kind of stacked up there, but we'll go with the one that's up top and first up on the line there. So we got our shirt right here. Put that down. Yeah, Stafford. They make some pretty good shirts. Right here, I kind of have them 2 in 1. My vest, you know, standard black vest. And accompanying that is a cardigan sweater, just a shawl collar cardigan sweater. You can see right there. And then to top that off, I'm going to be going with some black pants. These are actually some tuxedo pants, but I just like the way they are because they're good around the waist. They don't require a belt, but they still have good pleats and are wide around the legs, which is what I want. And as for neckwear, let's see. I'm going to go with this tie today. Yeah, it's a good one. So, I'm going to get them all together, and then we'll see our outfit of the day. Got my shirt on, but I have to have the obligatory necktie tying sequence. So we'll do that. I always like this shirt because it's got a nice collar. There you can see the way I have this. It's like my head is blocking out the light like a solar eclipse. Standard half Windsor knot. Get that up like so. Looks good. Okay. Collar down. Nice and crisp. My pens, which are always good to have on hand. I do write things down with them. And since we're at it, I may as well just put the vest and whatnot on. And then I'll show you the full outfit in a second. I just got to change the camera angle. Got the vest. Of course, people say you look, with the vest and short sleeves, but that's why I have a cardigan over it, because then you can't even tell. And of course, our favorite cardigan. It is a great accompaniment, I feel. Because I get cold pretty easily, so this works out well. And there we go. So let me switch the angle so you can see the full fit of the day, so to speak. And we'll go from there. Alright, there we are. There we are. Outfit of the day. You can see. There's the pants, which you can see are still pretty, wide leg, even if they have the stripe going down the side. I don't care, You can see there, vest. And yeah, you can see how it is. Hopefully in this lighting you got the vest right there. Then you got the cardigan that goes over it, which has some good pockets. I can put my hand there. And then the shirt, tie, pants. Let me get a view of that. Pants, socks, and shoes. Yeah, so it's comfortable. Again, the pants just have a good drape to it. They're comfortable. They're roomy. And this is pretty much my daily attire. Just what I go with. It's almost like a more casual three-piece suit. You almost never see the combination of a cardigan and a vest, but I like it. I think it goes well together, and there you go. I think you could use it for a variety of things, both casually and formally. But there you have it. Right, so about an hour has passed now, and it's time to check out the computer. I guess just for the sake of confidentiality, I don't feel, as I did in previous shows where I'd sometimes, show people's email or usernames or whatever. I just don't think it's really fair to their privacy and their rights that I really do believe in. So I'll just kind of narrate for you. So what I usually like to do is I load up the computer. I'm still using the same laptop that I had been using. So no, I haven't got that gaming PC yet. The Fortnite craze has yet to catch on at this camp, but I just like using this laptop. It might be an older computer, but it works out great, and it's something that I'm comfortable and familiar using. So anyway, what I first do is I open up the email, and I go through what we got. Always a loaded inbox, of all sorts of things. You get all sorts of things. A lot of it is, people trying to, it's what 90% of it is nowadays, people trying to advertise or promote a product or service. This guy is saying, let's see, this email just came in, he's saying, I work at this site. If you use my site, you can make more money. Not interested in that. This guy is advertising his site. He says, if you partner up with me, you can make shout-out videos and you can make some money there while making me money too. What is this? This guy wants me to do some video. What else do we have? And this guy was at this, I get a whole mix of everything. Offers, people asking me questions, requests. This guy sent me some article from the Wall Street Journal. It doesn't... But there it is, okay. This guy says he... You know, if I pay him this, he'll make thumbnails, and, you know, it gets loaded full of that. What else do we have here? Yeah, of course. This guy, you know, telling me to go F myself, right? All good. You get a lot. So, that's for the YouTube. Crowded and hectic, and it's going to take a lot more than 3 minutes to go through that. Then I check for the broadcasts, which this evening I did have a radio transmission to Europe. I was trying to do a test, so let's see if we got any reception reports. Let's see, we did. This guy says, can barely hear you, a lot of static. Alright, let's see what else we got. This guy said I could hear you from Southeast Europe on 11,580 kilohertz, a lot of static, but the transmission can be somewhat heard. What else do we have? This guy is in Munich, Germany. Says poor reception on 11,580. Yeah. Well, what can you do? This guy's in northern Minnesota. Says he was able to pick up the signal. Enjoyed the show. Thank you. What else do we have? Anyone else? This guy was in the UK. Hastings. Said no signal. Oh, well. This guy said he was in... Who else do we have? Listening on 11,580 kilohertz from central Germany. Very weak signal. Oh well. What can you do? You can't win them all, you know? Let's see if there's anything else. This guy's in the UK and said reception was very good, but let me tell you, the shortwave broadcasts are a huge portion of my work nowadays. It's something that, you know, I know not everyone listens to or tunes into, but it's something that I devote a lot of time, effort, and finances towards getting on the air. And lately I've been trying to get this broadcast going to Europe, to no avail, so it seems. 2 weeks ago we tried this one frequency that didn't work out. This week we tried it on 3 different frequencies. One of them didn't come in at all, the other was blocked out by something. And this third, which I had really put my high hopes for, seems to have reached some parts of Europe, but not others. But, you know. This guy from Sweden wrote in, he said 11,580 kilohertz was coming in good. That's the frequency that I was really hoping for that good coverage. This guy in Bristol, England, said he could hear me on 11,580 with lots of fading, but nothing on 7780, yeah. And Philip in Leipzig, Germany, said 11,580 was with excellent reception. So see, it all depends, but I was hoping for some better results. I've been having a huge difficulty trying to get a good service established to Europe lately, so what can you do? Anyway, I'll then check the Twitter, see if anyone's saying anything good there, and check the subreddit while we're at it. I kind of just check everything at once, and then in another tab I open up YouTube to the videos tab and see what's up with that. Hope nothing went down the tubes today. Let's see. There's the subreddit. Yeah, so everything's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just kind of take a little look and see what we got in the way of food. One big change that I've made from about a year ago is I still embrace the diet of crap, where I will still eat one piece of fried garbage after the next, but I try to do so a little less vigorously than I did 1 year previous. So what I try to do now is I try to incorporate some healthier cuisine, um, perhaps some vegetables, some home cooking, and I try to eat those royales, no cheese, every other night instead of every night this time around. So today I've had these two pieces of chicken. Can you hear that, guys? Yeah. I don't think that probably just looked really weird, but I could hear this guy. I think he's one of the neighbors or something, with just this bass, just going boom, 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 you know. I don't know if you could pick that up. I was probably just, forget it. Anyway, I have these two pieces of chicken that have been thawing out, and it's either going to be that, which I'll kind of prepare with some sides, or I'm going to eat some leftover 2-day-old. Let me see. Oh, 3.5-day-old pizza leftovers. So I'm gonna take a look, see what it's looking like, and I'm probably gonna end up going with the chicken. But if that's the case, I just fire up the the oven and try and cook myself some food. Told you this is tough to do. There we go. I'm no master chef, but there you go. Some chicken, grilled. All right. Normally, you can see right there. These are my normal goods: snacks, Entenmann's, some glorious Twizzlers. That. Some healthier alternatives here and there. Some avocados and some bananas, and can't forget some Publix bakery stuff. But today I decided to switch it up a little bit and go with something that's a little home cooked. Some chicken, as you can see, couscous, some seasoned, little green beans. Or not green beans, peas. I don't know why I was saying green beans. Anyway, let's taste it. Oh, and this is Coca-Cola. So let's give this chicken a shot here. Still steaming. Don't know if you could really see that. Try it. Mm-hmm. It might not be something that you would get from a 5-star restaurant that Gordon Ramsay would make or something like that, but it's good for what it is. It's a simple meal. It's homemade. It's home cooked. Can save some money on that. And it's a bit of a healthier alternative too than, getting a huge, receptacle of fried stuff, which I do partake in, of course. But this can be a healthier alternative and kind of gives a little practice in terms of cooking. But again, I'm by no means a master chef. About that one. All right. I got a pizza box with some stale pizza that I gotta throw out. Not really edible, so. That was me throwing the pizza crust into the brush. Let me do better with that one. Could have been a better throw. Hear how that's better. Hear how marshy the ground is. Got a lot of rain earlier. That's okay. Okay. It's nice to have multiple radios that you could have on at various times or in different places. Don't have to bring around the same radio always. Alright. The box here that you could really see, but this one will go in the recycling bin. Great pizza though, from a local place. They did it right. Watch this. This is going to be incredible. Alright. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. That's something else. I gotta do that again. Gonna drag that thing. Oh. Oh, my goodness. That's a little weight right there. Oh. Nah, it's a great balloon, though. It's a lot of fun. I'll be honest. I have a lot of fun with this thing. I just like it, though. Very colorful, very pretty. I always like balloons. Very nice. Yeah, so the night is continuing onward. Let me see the time here. Yeah, it's around 4:30 a.m. And as you can see, I have shed the cardigan. The cardigan has left the building. It has fled. And that's what oftentimes happens during the course of the evening as it wears on. Usually I like to layer up because I'll start off the night, too cold. And then subsequently, well, alright, if I start, getting warm, I could just take the cardigan off. And hey, look, I have short sleeves on, so if, helps keep me cooler. If I'm still too warm, the vest can always go without. And then after that, I could adjust the thermostat. Or perhaps I could just do that in the beginning. Whatever works out best either way. But anyway, usually around this time of night what I'll do, and it all depends because my schedule, here's one thing that you have to remember. Though this is the average day, my sleep schedule is by no means static. It is not fixed in place. So it is not as though I go, to sleep at whatever, 6 a.m. and wake up at 9 p.m. Well, that would be an extraordinarily long sleep, but you know what I mean. It's not like that happens every night. There was a time, actually, when I tried to mark down what hours I was sleeping, and sure enough, it fluctuates, usually by 1 to 3 hours every day, because I do not sleep for an even amount of time, and it shows. So there will be days when I wake up at 5 a.m. and fall asleep at 7 p.m. And there'll be other days like this one where I'll wake up at 8 p.m. and, I don't know when I'll fall asleep. Most of the time, I don't even stay up for 12 hours anymore. I get tired usually sooner than that. As I said, like right now it's 4 a.m. So I've only been up for what? 8 hours now. But already I'm starting to feel a little sleepy. And I wouldn't be surprised if I end up going to sleep in a few hours. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So that's why it fluctuates so much, and that's why sometimes I find myself waking up at noon, and then just 5 days later I'm waking up at midnight, and it's constantly changing, but I work with it, and, I manage. But anyway, just because my sleep schedule changes does not change what I do, or at least try to do every day. Sometimes you've seen this big, huge writing pad in every video. Well, not in every one, but on occasion it'll make an appearance. I try to mark down sometimes some of the things that I try to do for the channel and the broadcast. Hopefully you can see it there. The handwriting, I just make it discernible, really just for my own eyes. But I try to mark down like a little course of action. The things I need to get done for the YouTube channel, that I need to get done for the radio broadcast, and just when it comes down to that. For instance, when I wrote this is on the 24th, when I'm filming this, look into this new pickle brined chicken item from KFC to review. Try and research that, try and read up on it and get a review filmed for when it is released, and try to get it uploaded as soon as possible. Continue filming and then editing the average day video, hopefully for a release this week, which is what I'm actually doing right now. Then find options for shortwave broadcasts to Europe, and begin formatting this week's radio broadcast. And as I've said, it's something I promote a lot, and it's something that I invest a lot of time and effort into, my radio broadcast. It's something that I think a lot of behind-the-scenes work goes into, but even though the new show is to be prepared Thursday, and it's a Sunday right now, a lot of work goes into it, and already that many days in advance I'm already starting to begin filtering through the correspondence and seeing what can be done for next week's program. And I try to just get it all, because I could easily forget things, so I try to mark it all down on a list, and it's like a to-do list, you check it off, and it's a way to kind of organize things mentally, get it on paper, and it's a way that you can tackle these tasks better and avoid forgetting them. So it's something that I try to do as often as I can. Sometimes I can't get to everything on the list, but if anything, it's a good way to kind of get down what you need to do it. And, that's what we have there. Anyway, how about a shortwave radio interlude? Oftentimes during the night I will have Radio New Zealand International on in the background. They come in with a great signal through the nighttime hours, and I really enjoy their programming. It gives a good perspective on the Pacific region, and they play some good music too. So how about we hop over to that, and let's take a look. A few people might wonder, well, is shortwave listening still a big thing that you do? And absolutely it is. Now, you're not going to be able to see it well because of this, but let me show you this right here where you kind of can see it. See this little wire right here? And it doesn't look much, it definitely has some tension, and it's being fed through the window there, right? But I have this wire that's connected to my radio inside the house. As I said, it goes through the window right there, which you can see. And from there goes a car. I hope he doesn't think that I'm trying to... Doesn't matter what he thinks anyway. But anyway, I got this wire here. It's about 40 feet in length. And I'll show you. It just gets fed away from the vicinity. So you'll see. Well, you won't really see it, but you know what I mean. You'll metaphorically see. Anyway, kind of just goes, and goes, and goes, and goes out to here, where again, it's completely dark. But anyway, I have it kind of just leading away from the house about 40 or 50 feet, just into the, woods, so to speak, and just away from everything. And this antenna has this boosted reception incredibly. And to prove it, I'll show you how reception is in a minute. And there's the moon. At least I think it is anyway. Maybe it's the sun. I don't know anymore. Pretty though.
Email address Sunday night at radionz.com.nz. The text number 2101. Remember, they cost 20 cents. Where are you tonight? Most importantly, please tell me your name. After 9, that one kid's story you wanted to remember from the early days when we used to wake up as kids and listen to the radio at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And then either down right around our ears and snuggle up. Great, wasn't it? Our musical tonight is Great Scenes. We're playing a combination of the 1945 and 1962 film soundtrack.
Alright, well, it's around 5 a.m. And as I said earlier, I'm getting tired. So I think I'm just going to take care of my responsibility, at least while I have the energy to do so, and then I'm going to wrap things up. Now the pool itself is looking clean enough, but I do see one thing that I have to take care of. So what I need to do is check the chlorine, make sure that there's enough of that, and check a few more levels. In the meantime, I think I've almost established this as a tradition. Pretty much the strongest station we'll be able to pick up will be Radio Marti in Spanish, which is what we had on the last time. Now how about we continue that? Let's find a good frequency. We'll go with this one. That was what I wanted to start out. Let me see if I can get this one other thing. If I can't, I can't. It won't be the end of the world. That one I'll need to do another day. That's okay. Anyway, I have to check two things now. Chlorine. I'm going to do that last because I need to wash my hands real good. If they're playing music, I'm going to have to change the station. Because nah. Just let it go. You know, if it gets bad on me, it gets bad on me. And that's it. Anyway, what I gotta do, I just have to check this real quick. I just gotta add these solutions just so that I know that everything is up to the appropriate levels. I know it's not the most interesting thing in the world, but at least you get some up close and personal narration, right? That isn't found anywhere else. Anyway, I just got to add these drops of fluid. One is to test the chlorine. The other is just to test the alcohol level. I was trying to be dramatic for the camera, but honestly I need to move into better light to observe this as it needs to be observed. Yeah, it's alright. Alright. Well, it's within appropriate levels, but I gotta add some extra chlorine. Oh, I know. You've never seen anything like this before. I don't think it even needs to go without saying. Whatever that meant. It's not like we saw anything that looked just like this a year ago or anything. Anyway. I'm sorry, Radio Murphy. They did that to themselves with that music. This is... Yeah, it could be topped off. Either way. And with that, I gotta wash this off my hands, and then I'll see you indoors. "6:09 a.m. TV. Got some, let's see, some crime shows, some investigation, discovery on. Get this thing to focus. Guess it won't. There we go. Anyway, we got some show from Investigation Discovery on, crime shows. I like watching those. Got the dishwasher on also. And I'm getting tired. You can see it's getting light outside. And that's just how my sleep habits are. Haven't even been up for 12 hours, and there you go. But anyway, often around this time, I'm usually trying to get some writing in. I've been working on a short story. Been trying to get that done, but hope you enjoyed the video, though. I know it wasn't too active a day, hence hence the title, Average Day. If you were wondering in regards to Starbucks, and if you're also wondering why I lit up just like that, it's because I got the TV on. That's fine. It was showing a piece of paper that was very, very bright. But anyway, if you're wondering, did I get any Starbucks today? Because I didn't necessarily showcase it. I didn't get any today, but I had some leftover Starbucks from another day. So there you go. There's the answer to the long-awaited and potentially dreaded question as to the Starbucks dilemma. Every day, though. Every day has its differences, its ups, its downs. Some days are very much active than others, that's for sure. Today was probably an even more average day than most, but it is what it is. When I turn the camera on for this video, results not guaranteed, You just film what happens, and that's that. Hope you enjoyed it, though. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just kind of giving you a little look at, hopefully some very, very mildly amusing stuff. And maybe some background on some things with the YouTube channel, with the broadcasts, or anything in that regard. But I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, there'll be one to come next year, and perhaps the year after that, and so forth. I try to make it an annual thing, and that's where that stands. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, with this channel comes all sorts of things: food reviews, drink reviews, other reviews, miscellaneous talk, miscellaneous videos, the weekly radio show. You could all check it out. You could all find it here. But hope you enjoyed the video. That's all that I have for you. I'll see you again in a couple days with another video of some sort. Until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this average day 2018. That's all that I got.